Okay. Oh, no wonder. Hello. Let me turn this light on. I know why I couldn't do that because I didn't turn the switch to be able to see you. Hi, my name is Teresa Micheletti, and this site is called Take What Rings True. So, the whole idea is I'm going to be doing some talking about spiritual things, and you can decide if it makes sense to you or not. If it does not make sense to you, let it go. So take what rings true to you and let the rest go. Today, I want to talk about the poor me feeling. A friend of mine, Sylvia Brown, um, would say, if you're having one of those days where you just feel like nobody loves you, everything's going wrong, all the world is against you, that poor me feeling, then have a pity party. Just get on with it. Get it all out. You can say all the things that you're feeling and stomp around or cry or kick pillows or whatever you want to do, but just really get into it. The world doesn't love me. Nobody supports me. Nobody likes me. My kids are awful. My husband doesn't pay attention to me. Whatever it is, just get it all out, all of it, and then let it go. Like, give yourself some time. Okay, I'm going to have a pity party for the next hour. All right, then do it up really well. Have a real good pity party. And then stop and think. Okay. So the world doesn't really hate me. My husband is nice to me. He's just been working a lot. Um, my kids are kids. What can you expect? Some days are good, some days are bad. Sometimes they pay attention to me, sometimes they don't. Poor me. Maybe it is I'm living all alone and there's nobody to talk to. And the world seems to be against me. My job is boring. My boss is mean. Whatever it is, and then think, okay, what can I do something about? Pick one thing, one. And then what can you do about that? Maybe you need to get a new job. Maybe you need to put in a new rule for your kids. If you do not do your chores, then we're not going to the movies this weekend. You know, do one thing. And maybe it means taking some me time. Go take a bath by yourself with a friend, or go for a walk in nature, or go read your favorite book for a while. Or what is it you like to do? Like, sit down and write down 5 things that make you joyful, that make you happy. Maybe it's going to the Redwoods in Big Sur, but you can't go right now. What else could be on your list? That's one thing. What else could be on your list? I know I've been working, well, not working, but I've been staying with my sister for 3 months. So the things that I would usually do at this time of year, I have not been doing. So I have my little bucket list of, okay, when I have my sister situated, what can I do that would be joyful for me? So, what would be joyful for you? What activities, what pastimes would bring you more joy? So, in your poor me feeling, is there something that you really do need to change? Like, you really do need to change your job because your boss is horrendous and is never likely to change? Or you're living in a place that is just awful and you need to find a new place. In those kind of situations, you can program. It's like you write down exactly what you want. like? You would like a job that's within 10 miles of where you live. You want it to be during daylight hours. You want it to be regular hours. You want it to be working with people, or you want it to not be working with people. And then you've written out to the universe exactly what you want. So, whatever the situation is, if you want to change something, then you need to think about what are the parameters of what you want to change and be specific. You know, do you want to be able to take the train to your job? Do you want to be able to walk to your job? Do you want to be able to drive in 5 or 10 minutes to your job? And what kind of thing do you want? The universe cannot bring you something that you have not asked for. So you need to ask for it. You are a creator. So create. If you're in a horrendous situation, what can you do to change it? So take some time to sit down and think about, okay, if I really need to change something in my life, what can I do? How can I program to get what I want? So you don't want to just say, I want a different job. Well, do you want to work at McDonald's? Do you want to work in a factory? Some people love doing that because if you work in a factory, like say making boxes, then you can just daydream and you're doing your thing over and over and over again. And maybe that's something you love to do. That's something that is not working with people, and maybe you like not working with people. You'll have, people around you, but you are not responsible for directly dealing with them. So decide, what is the thing you want to change, if you want to change something. If it's just like life circumstances are just awful right now, well, if there's something you can change, fine. If it's not something you can change and you need to just give it some time, then give it some time. But don't resist it. Don't fight it. When you fight things in life, life doesn't flow. It's like you're holding on to it. You think you're helping to let it go, but you're holding on to it so tight that it's not moving. It's like you're stopping time. You're holding that scene. You're holding that piece of the rope of life, and you're not getting on with it. There's a meditation called the Stream of Life, where you're in a boat and the creator, God, source, whoever, is taking you along life on the stream. And if you're fighting life, it's like you're holding the brambles, you're holding that tree that's on the side, and you're not flowing. You are stopping yourself right there and keeping yourself right there in the situation you don't want. So instead of doing that, take a breath, know that life will flow on, and just let it flow. The angels are always saying, just be, just be. Like, just be in your boat, and life will continue. If there is something you need to change, fine. Then program for what path you want to take right there. And you do have influence over that. It's the old, there's a fork in the road. Which one will you take? So decide the parameters of each one and choose the path you want to take. And stop worrying about everything. Life's going to go on whether you worry or not. And often our worrying is programming for what we don't want. So where your thought goes, that's where your life goes. I know there's a famous phrase that I'm not saying, the classic phrase, but if you keep thinking about X, then that's what you're programming for. I know I was thinking about how awful my sister's caretakers were and trying to deal with them. but not having a replacement for them. So I expected them to be rude, mean when I worked with them. So, of course, they were rude and mean because that's what I expected them to be. It's like I'm setting out to do what I don't want to do. I'm setting out to receive what I don't want to receive. So check yourself during the day. I remember it was suggested we do 9 o'clock at night, but maybe you go to bed at 8 o'clock. So pick a time at least once a week where you reflect. It's like, okay, I'm expecting those caretakers to be awful. So they are awful because I'm programming for it. That's what I expect. It's coming to me. So I found that if I just put myself in a bubble and then fill it with love and then think of just hearts, that's what I do, hearts of love going out to everybody, and just let them decide how they're going to react. But I'm not going to send out or expect any negativity. So you might want to try it. You never know. It might actually work. Just some options to try. So, poor me. Sometimes you just need to have a pity party. Ugh, life gets you down. Life feels awful. You feel like everyone and everything are just out to get you or not cooperating with you. But then again, that's your expectation coming back to you. You expect it to be yucky, so it is yucky. You know how it is if you buy a new car and your car's, I don't know, green. Then you notice all the green cars on the road. Well, before that, you weren't paying attention to them. It was not important to you, so you didn't pay any attention at all. So, what you put your focus on helps you in your life. If you focus on what brings you joy, then more joy comes to you. You're paying attention to it. You notice the joyful things around you. Maybe you like roses and you start noticing all the roses at the hotel, the roses in the restaurant, the roses in the storefront window, somebody wearing a rose on a shirt. So, my suggestion is if you're having a poor me feeling, fine, good, go with it, get it out, take an hour and have a pity party and really do it up well. Crunch up some paper and throw it. Stomp around. And then take a breath and decide, is there some one thing that I can do something about that I can make a change? Maybe it's just my attitude and I need to focus more on something in my life that brings me joy. Or I need to change my job and program for it. Or maybe you need to do something else. You decide. It's your life. Maybe you're at a fork in the road. Which one would bring you more joy? Always choose the one that would bring you more joy. Now, please take some time today and write down 5 things that would bring you joy. That you could step out of the poor me feeling and take a walk. Or go pick some flowers in your garden. Or go buy some flowers. Something that would bring you joy. And focus on that today. Thank you very much for joining me. And I hope you have a joyful day. If you're having a poor me day, then take a breath and really do it up big with a pity party. and then get on with your life. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you next Wednesday. Bye.